Another episode of Cork of the North, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to everybody that is sticking with us through turbulent times.
For the high times and the low times?
We're currently in a low time.
Yeah, definitely low time if I've been brought back in.
Oh, no, and I don't say it.
And so, listen, thanks to everyone that's signing up to the Patreon. £3 a month for 3 extra episodes and also discount on the tickets to the live show. The live show is the 4th of June.
Wow.
I think it is. If it hasn't changed, we will cut this bit. But it's the 4th of June, 3 o'clock in the Duncairn. We're doing coffee and cake and a podcast on a Sunday afternoon. No alcohol. Just come in, get your. It's a religious experience.
Is it?
No, but we just sell it that way.
But
it's in a church. We're going to be saying things we shouldn't be saying.
Yes.
We're going to be like,
coffee and cake on a Sunday. What demographic listen
50 to 70.
50 to 70,
is
bingo,
what we do. Yeah,
right-wing
bingo,
Presbyterian.
Yeah. There'll be prune juice.
There'll
be prostate checks on the way in. By me.
You get DLA on the way out.
DLA on the way out, yeah.
And it's a special. We'll also be playing a highlight reel of President Biden's 8-hour trip to Belfast.
Oh, how do we feel about that?
Well, how do I feel about him? Well, I don't know the guy, so I don't really know.
So, have you got something against you? Is there secret intel?
You're like, well, it's been 10 days since he's been here.
That's true, because we're pre-recording this way ahead.
Oh,
I
was like, has he been here for 10 days?
The day we're recording this, he is here today.
No, we're recording we're pre-recording.
Okay. You wouldn't think I worked in TV.
You worked in TV.
We're banking episodes.
What we do is we record double.
Yeah,
so we work in advance.
Am I on Patreon or no?
No, you're public.
Oh.
We don't put you behind the paywall. You're
not worth any money.
You're free, baby. You are. Let me tell you, the public need to see.
The public need to see this.
Is it just you two on Patreon?
Sometimes.
Most of the time.
We mix it up.
But Patreon is a bit more extreme.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about deeper stuff.
Yeah.
It's great content out there. Very personal, very emotional.
Yeah.
Very spiritual.
Lots of horses.
Lots of
Lots of horses. It's a pound. There's nudes.
There's nudes, yeah.
They're not our nudes, but there's nudes.
But is it OnlyFans or Patreon?
It's OnlyFans, but we just get guys.
Have you got an OnlyFans yet?
No.
Can you do double?
What?
Can you a double OnlyFans? You could do an Aaron and Andrew
What would you want
OnlyFans,
me and him doing OnlyFans? Andrew and Aaron's OnlyFans. Two of us in boxer shorts walking around swimming pools in France.
Yeah, cocks in the north. It's coming, baby. A&A. I don't know. Can't pun on that. But either way.
Anyway, listen.
Anyway.
So, sign up to the Patreon. I haven't mentioned it already and come to the live show. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
We're going to meet Margaret. So,
how often does he mention selling things?
Oh, it's his life.
It's the start of the podcast. Oh, fuck it.
It is Ali.
It's been, 2 minutes?
Okay. We don't have a sponsor yet, Jade. We are literally, we've just hit an iceberg and we could be going fucking down.
We are the Titanic of podcasts.
We are the Titanic of podcasts.
That's why I've been brought in.
We started so brightly.
We are
now
Jack and Rose.
we are going into the abyss and there's a fucking problem with the captain because the captain's busy doing other shit.
Yeah. So. I'm floating on a door trying to reach for Andrew's hand and he's sinking.
Oh, no.
Sean is playing the violin on the deck. He's like going, I'm available for bookings. I need a new gig. Anyway, Jade is being on the podcast for. Jade is the chief executive, managing director, CEO.
What way do you say it?
Strategic planner of the Empire Comedy Club. My regular MC slot on a Tuesday. She is the manager of the Empire Laughs Back, Empire on the Road. We recently did a gig in Cookstown, and she's gone as far as in a Skillen.
Longest comedy club in the country.
Longest comedy club, 30 years. 30
the
years.
OG, the original
comedy.
It's nice hearing you guys talk about me for once.
Yeah, she is the OG of this is the oldest running comedy club in the whole country on the island of Ireland.
Yes, but I mean, I'm not the OG. I'm only 31 and it's 30, so...
Yeah, so your dad used to run it. Yes. And then it was obviously, nepotism passed down. Nepotism. You didn't have to work for it. And it was just
I have to work for it now.
Yeah. Handed to you on a fucking plate.
He happily handed it over and said, you now deal with all of these comedians.
Yeah. So anyway,
I've done it for long enough.
Yeah.
If you go to the Empire on a Tuesday, you may see Jade standing at the door checking to make sure people have paid and stuff.
Panicking.
And all that kind of stuff. So yes, can I just say, Jade, since returning from pandemic and going back into doing me, Paddy and Colin Murphy are one of the resident MCs of the Comedy Tour on a rotational basis, is I've never seen it so busy.
Yeah.
It is fantastic. What are you doing? What are you doing that's making the Empire on a Tuesday so busy?
I can tell you. She's booking me now.
She's booked you once.
Twice. All right.
We had you in twice?
I've been in twice and barely. Yeah. But it's been. But yeah, that's what's changed. The audience are coming every week going, "Is Aaron on this week?" And they're going, "No, but he'll be here," and they keep coming back every week just to wait. But we don't want to give. I don't want to expose myself too much to the Empire audience. Let's give them a little taste,
Yeah,
you know
just
what I mean?
a wee
just
bit.
drips and drabs. That's all they deserve.
Yeah, that's what someone says when they go, "I didn't want to play that club anyway."
yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
What are
it
you
was
doing,
the
Jade?
audience
What are
on
you
me.
doing? What are you doing? That's so good.
What's the secret behind the club? Jade, tell us.
tell
What's
you.
in the sauce?
Paramilitary's involved? What's going on?
Yes, they are. Yeah, no, they're not. Yeah.
No, honestly, I think it's just consistency. Like you say, it's been 31 years this year, so it has been around for a long time. It is
Did
a
you went through the pandemic year there? You were closed for a year, weren't you?
19 months.
So did you? Are you?
But it's still
are you,
been around for 31 years. Just because it wasn't.
But you've been active for 30 years, really, because you were down
Yeah,
for
well,
a year.
yeah. If you want to do the
So
maths, take away.
You're kind of adding in.
Yeah, but it started in 1992, so it's not as if that it's not me. It's just being consistent, booking good acts whenever someone isn't that good, not getting them back again.
Why'd you look at me? Yeah, booking someone when they're not that good. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I got a hug after your last set, so I think I might book
did.
you.
Yeah.
Aaron's been a comedian for about 14 years. This is really the second time he's done the Empire, and he lives in the fucking city.
And that's why we're doing really well.
That's how you do well.
She was flying me in from London. Before she would pay for a flight for me from London and give me a hotel before she would book him 4 miles up the road.
Okay.
To be fair, her father was booking it at the time, which is different. And also, to be fair, I was out of the game for a long time.
To be fair, I started booking the club in 2014, and you weren't really around.
I wasn't about that time.
No.
Yeah, no.
You started and then you stopped and then you started again.
Now we're back on the journey again. So
And
it's fine.
It is fine.
Yeah, well, there's we book acts from all over, and we only have a Tuesday night, and there only is an MC and 2 slots, so it's hard to fit everybody in all the time.
That's right.
How many emails a week do you get from comedians and agents looking for gigs?
A lot.
Like 20, 30?
Is it a daily basis thing?
Yeah. I also feel like everybody must have some sort of WhatsApp group or some sort of way of communicating that I have replied to an email, because as soon as I reply to one, it's like everyone's like, "Oh, she's active, she's live." Straight onto it, get the email in now.
Just a chat.
And
Hey Jade,
I'm
while you're here,
I only have the energy for one email today.
Yeah.
I've replied to the rest. But I do get it. That's why it's great that there's so many comedy clubs across the city and country now, because I can't have everybody every single Tuesday.
Yeah.
But people who go to comedy for the first time, say they'll go to a gig, I don't know, down in Newry or fucking whatever, Bangor or something like that, and they realise, they go, "Oh, that was a really good experience," and then they realise that you're the longest serving comedy club. All comedy clubs help rise other comedy clubs.
But there's also it's also the opposite too. If you go to a shite comedy night and you think that that's what live stand-up is.
Yeah, but shite comedy nights don't last.
No, but you could go to it and then be like, "Oh, it's actually not that great." Whereas if you go to a proper good comedy night that's ran really well and all the acts do well, you kind of go, "Flip, that's nothing on watching it on TV." It's a completely different experience, and you have to experience it well. And I don't think that you should have to travel to London or further afield to experience a really good comedy night. We've so many here that are doing so well.
Good stuff.
And I do think a lot of the secret now is, as much as you guys would hate to hear it, it's not really about the acts. It's about... No, it's not even about the MC. It's about creating a... there's no point in me even talking about this here.
Because you've lost us.
I know, you have no interest.
No.
Comedy is not about the comedians. Tell you what, it's my Instagram handle.
No, it's about going down and just enjoying it. It's the audience as well. It's like creating the
vibe.
Yeah, the vibe.
It's about
attracting
the
the right people.
Make sure the lighting's good, the sound's good.
No, not even. No? Well, yeah, that all is.
That all plays into
the
it.
right people who are there.
It's not the lighting, it's not the sound. So what is it?
It's the audience. It is.
Is it? So
it's the people in the audience enjoying it.
okay, so if there was no comedians and no MC, what would they do?
I didn't say that wasn't important. You asked me what the secret was, and I think that now, you can go to a solo show. It's completely different to going to a comedy club.
Okay, cool.
But would the argument then also be, because you're saying it's about the audience? The audience
I said that
behavior.
part of it
no,
is
I know
about
it is.
the audience.
I know it is. I know it's part of it.
You can't forget that.
But
You think it's all about you.
Is the knock-on effect?
Feisty.
No. Take the comedians out of it too. Is the knock-on effect that, little things like, I'm trying to think of examples like the harp sponsorship, little things like the stage being set the way that it's set and having that nice backdrop with the lights looking nice, that the audience see that and they go, "Oh, I'm in a good mood now because I feel like I'm at a proper comedy club." So that all...
The atmosphere brings it.
Yeah, exactly.
Smoke machine.
An audience.
Lasers. I'm trying to give you tips on what we should add.
When you walk
Fireworks.
into a venue and it looks great
Yeah.
and it looks professional, it looks organised, it looks set up, you kind of go in and you go, "Oh, these people know what they're doing."
Yeah.
So
Yes.
what happens is their mood changes. You go, oh, look
Well,
at
it
the
makes
professionalism
if you know
of this.
that it's like ran well, the comedians are happier too. They're going to
that's
perform
true.
better.
Yeah,
that's
Have
true.
to keep comedians happy.
Yes.
Very difficult job.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
What
Children are easier than comics.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, can I just say, I don't feel I've ever caused you any hassle.
Really?
Have I not? What have I done? What have I done?
Yes, tell
What
him,
have I done, Jade?
He's
What
a
have I
her.
done? What have I done?
I could not be an agent. That's all I'm saying.
Why?
I think.
Oh, I know.
What?
Oh, I know.
Yeah, there's
No,
probably.
there's too much babying involved. I've already
Yeah.
got 2
But you
children.
don't need to do
Yeah.
any babying.
She does
Ah,
with me.
you
She does with me. I need
Hugs.
babied a lot. Yeah, I need reassured at all
He's
times.
all need reassured.
Look at baby.
I don't
We're
want
joking,
to
we're
block the
joking.
view.
No, sit down
Sorry.
as in a baby. You know when someone tells a baby to
Block
sit
what?
up?
Yeah. There's probably like I imagine, Jade. It's like there's people being like, "Oh, I want this water, I want this black currant," and things like which you sort out
They're-
for us
they're
very
fucking
well.
idiots.
They're little tiny. But have you ever had a request from a comedian? You don't have to name names, by the way.
Yeah.
But like, has there ever been something where you've went, "That's a wee bit strange"? So it is like maybe they've been like, "Oh, I want a PlayStation backstage," or "I want like no."
That's no. Yeah,
None of
I
that?
don't think I've ever really had anything too
That's
wild.
okay,
But
then.
I don't really work at a level where that comes. Like I'm sure whenever
Clubs are different.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you're not going to come in and start. Maybe when you start doing arenas and things like that, you ask for different writers, but
Yeah.
no, like you don't come back. Have you seen the green room in the Empire? I mean, if you were expecting anything other than
You're lucky to get a seat.
what amazes me is that you would think that it's like rock and roll, and then many times I go and it's like, oh, a cup of tea and 3 pints of blackcurrant.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, it
Who's
is.
ordering the
anybody
tea,
want a
lads?
beer?
I know.
That's me.
I know. It's definitely you.
Yeah, it's not rock and roll, maybe.
It's not.
What is for a comedian who's maybe listening and is like on the scene or is an open mic or whatever? What's the best way they can like not message you like what's your email or whatever? But what's the best message? Just be like, hey, I'm just. Is there like what's the less weird way to just message you and
What's
be
the
like,
best way to get a gig off
what's the
you?
best way to get? Yeah. I know this is opening up Pandora's
I
box
have-
for
I know.
people to message you, but it's more just
Yeah.
for
No,
people to
I
have
know.
the right etiquette so they don't like message you and then get offended if you are like saying something back to them, you know?
Yeah, no, do you know, it is always helpful to hear. I don't think that the Empire is where you go for one of your first gigs.
No.
I feel like as
Shouldn't
we've
be.
spoken,
Yes.
you've obviously wanted to do everywhere else first. And it's nothing to do with me. It is just I feel like it kind of holds. You know, a lot of people have performed there. Everyone seems to be a bit tense or nervous going on. I would hate anyone to go on and then be afraid and think I'm never doing that again. It's a high stage. It's a high ceiling.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other clubs where I feel like you could build up your confidence to do 5 minutes there.
Cool.
Best way is probably to email me or come down. I love it when people kind of come down and support the night as well. You know,
Yeah.
like they actively go down and watch to see how the show runs. I don't really like it when people just go on the stage for the first time and they've never been
Yeah.
to kind of know even the running order. So come down, chat, send me an email, and it is just hard to fit everybody in. And whenever I get you in for an open spot, it's not necessarily going to be 2 months before you're back in again because
Yeah.
there are quite a lot of people.
Yeah.
So yeah, just keep the faith and
Patience.
keep patience, and just keep gigging everywhere else. You know,
Yeah.
like you can't expect to do every club every single night of the week. And go everywhere else. Go elsewhere.
Do you have a list of names for like, for example, do you go like, all right, this is my open spot list, this is my 20-minute opener list for people,
Yeah.
this is my headliner list, and then you just work
Yeah.
your way through that?
Yeah. And then
Basically. I've been on all the lists. And I've
Yeah, you
moved up.
have.
yeah, well,
the
that's
sex
it. And I
offenders
think
list
that when
more
people
than
just
anything.
think that someone's an overnight success,
Yeah.
do you know our last show before the pandemic, Joanne McNally was opening, do you know, and then people think that just because like popped out of nowhere, and you're like, no, she's put in a lot of hard work over the years.
Absolutely.
All of these kind of they've just
Yeah.
came out of absolute nowhere. It's bullshit. They've
She was
been
doing-
working really
She was
hard for
doing
a
her
really
shows
long
in Edinburgh
time.
to like 20 people. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Crazy.
exactly. So I hate the kind of sense of I deserve to be straight in.
But
to
like you're
different
you
sort of stuff.
could spend 12 years doing something and you're an overnight success. Like you know, what I
That's
mean?
the, that's the way it works.
but that's the way it works, and it's like
Well, so you've been MCing the Empire.
2016.
Yeah, and you were
Every-
coming over to close it before that,
Yeah.
and people are probably only starting to know who you are now.
Yeah, but I don't mind that because I
that's what I mean,
I like to work.
But
I
that's
like
but
working,
people.
so-
But that's it. So it's like it's a lot of hard work. It's not as if you
Oh,
just
yeah.
wake up funny and
Like-
think, oh, I'm actually really good at this.
If you watch, I don't know,
Stage time is
say
a
if you
lot
watch
to
a
answer
football
for.
match and it's Man United v Liverpool, and then Man United go, oh, we've got this new 20-year-old right back. And people go, oh, who's this new kid? No, that kid has been in the system since he was 7 or 8. And every single person has helped him, have developed him. He's played under 15, under 19. He's been on fucking the reserve team. He's trained with the first team. Oh, everybody inside the industry knows that there's this kid coming up and he's going to make his debut. But the average punter on the street is like, oh, who's this new kid? This person isn't new to the industry.
Yeah.
They're new to you.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, he's just come out of nowhere. No, he hasn't. He's been around for fucking 12 years training.
You're not really as good as your last gig. Just because you've died doesn't mean like that's how good you are. It's a combination of every gig you've done to that date. And dying actually makes you better, I think.
Oh, you have to die.
Yeah. Seeing a lot of bad gigs. It's all learning. It's learning how to be on stage. You could have a really good set, but you need to.
When you see an act at the Empire struggling, but you know that they're a comic, but it's just not working tonight.
Like you.
How do you...
I love it. Absolutely love it.
What?
Whenever I see you struggle.
Oh yeah, my favourite thing too.
Do you like it? Do you actually like it?
Just like whenever
God,
you're
you
like,
must have seen that once every 4 years.
I have to wait for it. No, when you call in and it's like you're not on and you just see everyone getting attention, so you're like, oh, can I go on and do 5 minutes? I've got this joke I want to try out.
Where is this coming
and then
from?
you go on and it doesn't work, and I'm just like,
he does do that. He does.
No, do you remember that night I died? Tell
one time.
Tell the story.
Well, that's the story I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You came in, I can't even remember who was on the bill, but it was a really good night. Paddy was on. Everyone was like getting so much attention, and then you see comics like anyone who calls in to say hello, they start being like, I need to get on, I need to get on, I need to get on. They're getting more attention than me. This is not great.
Is bullshit.
Can I do 5 minutes?
At no point did I ever say that. You're so full of shit, woman.
I love being in the middle of this.
At no point did I walk in, hi, I'm not getting enough attention. Can I go on stage? I walked in, I said, listen, I've got a couple of new bits. Can I go on? And you said, yeah, I'll put you 5.
Yeah, something like that. Plus
it's bullshit.
And then you go
I'm giving
on.
your email out to every comic.
The bad ones, especially the bad ones. Yeah.
She said to me that she will book you.
Yeah.
Make sure you email her twice
you do
a
that
week.
anyway, do you not?
I actually do.
Give it to me.
I have people coming up to me going, oh, Andrew, can you speak to Jade about getting me into the Empire? And I'm like, give me 50 quid. And they give me 50 quid.
It's a feeder system.
It's called a finder's fee.
Finder's fee.
Right, go on, tell the story, Jade.
So then you went on, you did your joke, it failed miserably. And that's the end of the story. It did not go, it died.
It died, so...
Do you remember the joke?
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember the joke.
Can you just give me a rough idea?
I just turned on them. I just went for
them.
them.
Okay, you just started yelling at them.
Went for the
Then
juggler.
that started to get funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I was like, oh...
I don't know, Jay.
I don't need
And I was just at the back going, this is like the best day of my life.
Yes, because now you get to ask a favour from him.
Oh my God, it's so much fun.
I
loved it though. It's fine. I don't.
Well, that's what I mean. It's funny.
all part of the process.
So whenever I see someone who I know is a great comic, because you have to go on and try new material. I hate it when people just do the same stuff
Every
all the
joke
time.
is new once.
Yeah.
So yeah, going on and trying that and dying, it's enjoyable because I know that you're good. Whenever I see someone go on and they haven't done it before and they're really struggling, it is hard to watch. It's kind of going like, oh, because you know they've got potential to, and you don't want them to be put off forever doing it ever again. So that's the difference.
So you kind of have to nurture the right people that you think, because trust me, like there's a lot of people in comedy that are not right in the head. They should be doing.
Well, there's also a lot of you don't.
Hey, self-spoken.
Well, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Remember,
yeah, well, I'd say, yes.
You've come across them.
Yes.
You have come across them.
Well, yeah, I think most comics, not trying to brush you off this, but there's something going on,
There's something in the water.
What the fuck is going on?
And she looked at me and you and she said,
with most comments, there's something. What's going on, Jade?
You know
what is it that's going on? What are you saying? We're ill? Are we mental?
No.
What is it? What's the problem? What is the common thread that is going on with comedians that you notice all the time?
No, not. That's what you can't say. They're all the same. I just think you would think that backstage at we've already said that it's not rock and roll, but it's also not very funny.
No,
it's very
so you would kind of think that
quiet.
So you think that the people who are best on stage are probably people who are like very funny off stage, very like, oh, I was like the funny guy in skill. It's not. It's usually the quiet
I
ones.
actually would say, and I know this, but I'm actually quite. And I know you're going to agree with this, and you're going to come in with something funny, right? Because I can predict you. I'm actually quite a boring guy.
Oh, no way, Andrew. How are you? Didn't predict that.
Have you just realised this?
No, but like my life. Oh, like people think like, oh, you're a comedian.
You're vanilla.
No, but like people think like, oh, you know, like you're a comedian and like, yo, it must be really cool and all that. I'm like.
You're not sniffing coke off anyone's tits anytime soon.
Exactly. Like, I'm just like, just a very normal. Like, do you know what? Do you know one of the best things I did last week? Now, the best crack I had. So, Jade's got a daughter and a son, right? Willa and Seth, right? Is that my okay to say that?
Yeah.
Okay. And people know you have kids, like, so.
The Dalai Lama here.
Yeah, just look at me. I clearly have kids.
But at Christmas, I bought Jade's daughter Peppa Pig.
Lovely.
For a Christmas present. And
Ruined my life.
Ruined her life. She ended up taking it to Peppa Pig World.
They didn't know Peppa Pig before we got this toy.
No
They didn't even know about Peppa
I had
Pig.
sheltered them from Peppa Pig.
I went,
You cost her a fortune.
Watch me kick in the door of happiness in a family and fucking throw a spanner in the
Peppa
works.
Pig World. Like, we had to go to Peppa Pig World.
Right.
Wow, that's commitment.
So me and Will have got a vibe, right? We're getting on, right?
You and her child have got a
We
vibe.
hang out with each other, like. No, but like, we get on well. Like,
Okay.
So I said to Jade, I said, listen.
She wants to be a comedian.
She wants to be a comedian, see.
Oh, okay.
All right, so, and she went to see Paul Curry, isn't that right? And she was like, why isn't this Andrew? Because she didn't realise there's only one comedian in the world, you know?
Okay.
So I said to Jade, let's go out for coffee one day and bring Willa. And we had a great time, didn't we?
Yeah.
But she was brazen, like, funny kids.
Yeah.
We're sitting on a bench, right? And we're just sitting on the bench and we're like having tea and coffee, whatever. Like, and Willa's just sitting there. Like, she'd be a bit shy, you know, like she's a child, you know? And she just lies flat out on the bench. And it's like people coming in to sit down and Jade's like, Willa, you need to sit up to
I
that
picture her from
and she's just
preschool.
lying down, she's like going, I'm not fucking moving.
Yeah.
You know, like Leonardo DiCaprio in Wolf of Wall Street. He's like, I'm not fucking leaving. I'm not fucking
Far
leaving.
too much confidence.
But to be honest with you, that was one of the best things I did last week.
That's
People
cool.
think like your life is rocket. My life is very boring.
I love mundane stuff too.
Oh, mundane stuff is the
Sorry,
best
why
thing.
is going out for lunch with my daughter Monday?
I know, how dare you?
like,
should be the most exciting idea of your
comparing
life.
that to,
Right, next week we'll go out with you and we'll see.
Yes,
if you
and my daughter that I don't have.
Comparing that to what people think comedians do.
Yeah.
I love going out for coffee, lunches. Like it's a
simple
very
things.
normal thing.
It probably depends on what
It's-
age of a comedian you are.
So give us. Let's
But I
break
was
that
never.
down.
I'm never been a drinker. Like
If you're a 20 to 25-year-old comedian, is it like party rock style, like flipping drinking?
But then I feel like, is there many good 20 to 25-year-olds? Because that's still the point
Still
where you're
very
learning.
early. Very early learning.
I think
yeah.
like. Well, yeah. I mean, I think I'm only getting. I mean,
You're hitting the prime now, baby.
I actually think I can. I actually still think my best years are coming.
I think so too.
I feel it.
Yeah, well,
I think my
in
writing and
comedy, you
everything,
can. I feel like it's definitely something that you get better and better and better
Yeah,
at.
I feel so much more like I've always been okay, but like I really feel now I've stepped up, and I don't want to lose that. I want to like step on the pedal now. So for the next 4 or 5 years, I want to do maybe 2 or 3 specials. Which I filmed my first one in May, on the 12th of May, and Friday in the Black Box. Aaron's filming it. Jade will be there doing the.
I'm filming my first special this week.
Doing the door. She's managing the
We're
shows.
just the
Jade.
groupies. We're
The
always
groupies.
there.
Jade is doing the management of the show. She promotes the shows for me. You know?
Yes.
I do the
She helps
stress.
sell them out.
I do the stress.
She does the stress. Andrew, where do you want this? Just fucking sort it, Jade. I'm busy.
Exactly.
I'm busy
Yeah,
being boring
that's-
backstage.
Yes.
Okay, so
I need a pint of water.
do you want some water? You don't want
No,
water?
she was
No,
saying that.
Oh, right, okay.
The concern on his face there. Do you want some water?
Do you want water?
Bless your heart.
I had a Red Bull before I came in.
Oh, I would love a Red
I
I've
haven't
had a-
done that in years.
See-
I feel like that was a bit rock and roll of
Were
me.
you nervous or something?
No, I just was like, I can't have another coffee, and yeah, I just felt like I needed something.
Where
over.
are your 2 beautiful children today?
Well, it's half term, so Willa is off, so she's with her nanny, and well, sorry, this is 10 days anyway.
Willa's back at school.
Yes.
Will's back at school.
Yeah.
School and childcare.
School and childcare.
Wow.
Best combo.
Best combo.
That is a
You'll never
really good
experience
combo.
I'll never know.
it. You never know what childcare is like, Aaron.
Thank fuck. Do you ever see, because you've seen so much over the years in terms of comedy and stuff, do you ever be there all night and you're just going, nothing's funny to me tonight?
Yeah,
Because look, even from gigging, there's some nights where I'm like,
yeah, no, I
nothing's
know what
making
you
me
mean.
laugh here. I've seen too much.
Very, very, very rarely actually, but I think actually, especially since it's reopened again, every Tuesday I'm kind of going, there's no way that last week could be topped. Like I'll be down and I'm like, no, like it just can't be, and then the night kicks off and I'll go down, and I do have 2 kids, I do work, I'm a bit tired being like, oh. And I arrive in and the show starts, I'm just like, this is unbelievable. I just think that it's so different to watching it on TV. I haven't been to very many solo shows lately, but there's just something about a club. It's about, I know you said earlier and you disagree with me, but the audience, like knowing who's all in the room, like the MC chatting to everybody, it just feels like when you leave that night, you're like, that can't be replicated. That will not happen again. You can go see a tour show again and again, and it kind of, obviously it's the same script. But with the combination of acts, the type of people who are in the room, like the way everything falls into place, I'd just be like, this is
Some
so
things
good.
that happen on a comedy night when the audience when it's happening in the moment. I said not pre-prepared material. We're talking audience banter, right?
Yeah.
So because when I do the Empire, I predominantly use it to just do audience work.
Yeah.
And chuck out newer bits of material, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of a place just to kind of go and be a bit, hey, whatever, like see what the crack
Bit
is, and
silly.
see what we can get, right? And then I
Bit silly.
a bit goofy. Just have fun.
just
That's
have
what
fun,
I mean.
like right. And then obviously if I'm doing solo shows, I try and plug the solo shows. Say come and see the show.
Yeah.
So
Try to.
Those-
Fuck me.
From the start of a
joke
set.
plug, joke plug.
Every joke is followed by a plug. It has to be. You've got a mortgage to pay. There's no shame in it, right? You're a single income household. Don't be worried. You can plug away.
Cork in the North podcast every Thursday.
you know, I'm giving up.
He's giving up. No, don't put that back. Come on, man.
You know,
Stay in the room.
I
Come on.
just don't feel supported.
No, we are.
We're the only support.
We are your only support system in life.
This man's trying to keep the lights on.
I'm trying to keep the fucking lights on here.
We don't look. We're here to try help you keep those lights on. Don't worry. We're behind you 100%. Joke plug, baby. It's all good.
Okay.
But yeah.
What was I talking about?
We're talking about how I was saying, you know, how it actually I like to hear that you do still get a real kick out of seeing the live show. I think that's one thing, you know, the live element of the show, that anything can happen, that the room something can go crazy, something go wrong, something go wild, and you're the only people experiencing that in the moment, which I think is what you were getting to there. That is what keeps it exciting for you and keeps it like you like.
Yeah,
it's
and
never
I'm
boring.
constantly running around like nervous, even though I'm not on stage, because I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I need everything to be like running really well. I hate it when people are talking. I hate it whenever like things aren't. Not that anything won't go well. I just love it to be the perfect environment for everybody, the acts and the audience.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm a wee bit up to Hido, just like you'll see me like running around, just making sure that it's all going well.
As somebody who gigs down south, as somebody who goes to the UK, goes over to England a lot, people love the gig.
Yeah.
People love the gig.
Yeah.
And like even like when I was telling you, like Scott Bennett contacted me. You know, Scott's done Live the Apollo, BBC Radio 4. He's contacted me. He was like, "How can I get back over to the Empire?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, I just started with Jade. You know, Scott's a headliner. He's just finished his whole UK tour." And
No, it is really nice.
And I was like going, you know, people.
Because it's not an easy place to get to. It's not ideal flying over to Belfast on a Tuesday to fly back again.
No,
but
if you're
it is nice that people want to do it.
This is a place that you have to, you know, these are the rooms that I feel you need to look at as a comic, as an up and coming comic. That you need to go like, I need to go into this room and do well at this room, because, you know, maybe 20 years ago it may have been a much different room in terms of the atmosphere, and like people say it was a notoriously difficult gig. Maybe now it's different, but there's a comedian called Sarah Millican who's brilliant, and she always says this about comedy, and I say it to every other comedian, and she said this and I thought it was brilliant, so I use it now. As a comedian, learn to play every room.
Yeah.
Stags, hens, quiet rooms, posh rooms, you know, festival rooms, festival tents, you know, learn everything.
Yeah.
Get yours too. You can walk into a room and go, oh yeah, I'm fine with this.
Yeah, I think you can tell clubs, comedians, because it is a bit safe doing your own tour show. Like every type of comedy has its challenges, but when you go into even if it's an arena room, everyone's there to see you and they like you. It's like a best man speech. They're going to laugh.
Can't go too wrong.
You can't go too wrong.
Oh yeah, I've done tour shows.
People are normally there because they've seen some of your jokes.
Have you seen the shit he's done? That have gone wrong. Some of the stuff I've done on tour, I'm like, are you actually my fan? Oh, you're just looking for something to do. Oh. Go on anyway.
Well, 9 times out of 10. Whereas you go into like a club and they're, especially somewhere like the Empire.
Yeah.
I don't advertise the lineup until the week that it's in, because I like to sell tickets based on the fact that we've got a good reputation and it's going to be funny regardless. My pet peeve is when someone says, "Who's on?" I don't know them. I'm like, yeah, we didn't know who Kevin Bridges was. You didn't know who Sarah Milligan was. You didn't know who John Bishop was when they were all doing the Empire. So for me, it's kind of go down. It's not an expensive night out. You know, most of these I'm not just talking about my own,
free pint
comedy clubs in general, like the grassroots of comedy. It's not an expensive night.
You're plugging loads, right?
I love how you also say, "Come on," to plug the Empire. I'm like, could you not do that for me? Why am I on to do it?
Fucking lights on.
Anyway, it's not an expensive night out. You go out, you discover a comedian that you mightn't have heard of before. You don't need to be famous to be funny. If anything, the more famous you get, the less funny you get.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not famous. I don't want to be famous.
Me neither. I just want to stay funny, baby.
I just want to stay. I would rather be pure to the art form than be able to pay my mortgage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's where I feel you can get real belly laughs. Like, I still do be amazed. Like Tuesday, like what night? Last night.
The night that was on.
The night that we were last on,
Yeah.
I'm still there, like proper laughing.
Yes.
And I don't really get that off. I really appreciate comedy. I work in comedy and TV. I love all of that, and I can appreciate what's really clever and what's great. But there's something about a club where I'm like,
Yeah.
You gotta
there's
be
a
in
laugh
that room.
coming from somewhere else. It's like
Yeah.
a full.
TV comedy just doesn't play as well.
Don't want to do it.
It's just,
Don't want to do it.
That's why you're not on.
that's why you're not doing it. Hey, get that back over here. But yeah, even,
TV comedy's great, but it's just a different thing. You're usually watching it on your own, especially
is.
nowadays. Everything's on screen. Whereas when you're kind of like, I remember reading somewhere, it's really hard to hate someone you're laughing with. So especially somewhere like Northern Ireland, where you go out to a comedy night, you're all from different backgrounds, don't know what's going on in anybody else's day, but you're all laughing at the same joke. So it is that kind of sense of
Community.
I don't like that word, but yeah.
Cross.
You know what I mean? Like community. Oh.
Our community needs to laugh with your community.
Yeah.
Become one community.
Yeah.
It's more just, you're out with your friends, you're out with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your mum, your dad, and you're just having a really good time while drinking a pint of heart.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It is, but I agree with that.
I think
too.
we all take it for granted because we work in it.
We do.
Oh, we do, yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
so I started doing the door in the Empire when I was 16.
Doorman?
Yeah.
Oh, not the name.
No, the ticket girl.
Oh, yeah, 80, you're not coming in. Oh, 80, 60.
I sold the tickets at the door.
Right.
And I still just didn't really like appreciate what it was. I wasn't allowed in, obviously. I did try and charge Michael McIntyre in.
That's hilarious.
What did he say? Hello.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Charge me in. I'm not coming in ticket.
I think he paid and just walked on.
Oh, that's so sweet of him. I mean, fair play.
Paid to get to his own gig.
Yeah.
But it was only whenever I went to Glasgow for uni that I started working for the Glasgow Comedy Festival. So my dad had worked in comedy for years and years and years, and I had just been like, what?
Yeah.
And then went there and was like, I hear this is actually kind of good crack. I actually really enjoy this.
It's not a bad number.
So it was, that's kind of how I got into it, rather than just following straight into my dad's footsteps.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
And
cool.
I remember, obviously, you're there every Tuesday night, but a couple of weeks back, you couldn't make it because you were ill.
It was the first time in a
time.
really long time.
So her husband, Chris, was doing it. Right?
No
I was
way.
ill. That was remember when I got food poisoning.
I do remember that.
Right, so I was in bed and I texted you at like 5 o'clock and I said, I texted you, was it that morning going, I don't know if I can get in tonight, I'm dying.
No, I texted you and was like, I'm sick, I'm not going. You were like, oh, I'm sick. And I was like, should I get a replacement? And you were like, no. So whenever Chris texted me, he was like, Andrew's arrived, he's really pale. I was like, see if he does a shit job, I'm actually going to be fuming.
I thought you were going to say, see if he does a shit. I was like, that would be way worse.
If he goes on sick and doesn't do a good job.
On and shit and
Andrew could die, but if he doesn't do a good job.
Yeah.
But I went on anyway.
If he dies, he better just die.
Oh my God, I was so sick during the gig. I remember going on.
Apparently, it was one of your best. My brother Jamie was there, and he said you were unbelievable that night.
Maybe that's a secret.
So this is what you need.
I'll be honest,
You need to be
like,
sick.
I wasn't great. Like, being unbelievable for me is not good. I need to be undeniably superb.
That's never happening.
That's not even a
I
joke.
am so full of shit here today. It's
Yeah, you are.
unbelievable. Yeah, come at me, listeners. Slag me off.
Hey.
That was you had a bad day. Wow, go see him on
Oh,
a
I was
good day.
having You've not seen it yet. I'm holding it back.
I've been waiting
her
10
Her
years.
husband Chris was doing the door, you know. So,
Yeah.
and whoever managed the show sometimes couldn't get his drink, and I just remember looking at this guy going, I was like, get me. I was like sending him out to get me drinks.
Yeah.
And we were like, just keep sending him out. We were just like keep winding him up because he was like, going, right, is there anything? Jade's not here.
That's
She's not
class.
very well.
I know,
Is there
I said,
anything we can
like,
get you?
you
We're like
should
going,
be like-
can I have a?
Yeah.
I'm looking at a guy that's played 30 times for Irish rugby. Going, I'll have a cup. Go get me a drink. Mate. Go get me a drink.
Jade usually makes us burgers. Just
He told the doorman that he brought the doorman like a Chinese, and now they're expecting it from me every week. They're like, when's Chris
He
coming
was just
back?
standing there, and we were like, going, yeah, can you?
I'm like, you've set a really high
We were
standard.
like, looking at him, going, where's the massage chair? Where's the massage?
Do you know what's
When are we
really
getting the
sad?
massage
Say,
at?
I was like a wee bit like, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to be there tonight. Like writing out this sheet, everything that needs to be done. You know, it's just really adamant that I had to be there, and I didn't. So it's actually
It
a wee
runs
bit,
itself, like.
yeah.
Well,
I
just shows you.
yeah, I just
People know what they're doing, like. Everyone knows what to
It's a
do.
well-oiled machine now at this point.
Everyone knows.
So you're just saying I'm redundant then?
No, but the beauty of it is that you care about it, and the fact is the day that you don't
I care
think
a wee
that
bit too
way,
much.
that's the day when you don't care about it.
No, I think that's better. It's better to care too much than too little. Absolutely.
You know what I
I
mean?
freak out
It's
a
got
wee
a
bit
great
too much about
reputation.
it.
The Empire Comedy Club has an absolutely fantastic
I
reputation.
think I'm a people pleaser. I like to keep
You are.
everybody happy.
But look,
Where does that come from,
That's
Jade?
part of the job.
Where does that come from? Let's get deep there. Let's get deep.
Being a nice person.
Really? I mean, like, would you say like you're a people pleaser in terms of being a nice person, but also do you have boundaries with people in the industry and stuff?
I'd like to think she does.
I'm just really confused as to where this is going.
Yeah,
but like,
she was like, no boundaries at all. They can do anything.
Can you be a bit of a fucking like, I need shit done. I need it done today. Like,
Yeah, no, I don't mean. I mean, as in, I like to keep my audiences and my like. You guys are working for me that night.
We are.
Your
we are,
employees.
You're our boss.
Less than minimum wage.
I like.
Less than minimum wage.
You
I like to
overpay
just
him
keep
if anything.
everyone happy, but obviously, if someone's out of
last time I was
line,
there, she said to me, "You're lucky to be here."
You are.
That's what she said
Every
to me.
time he's there, I want you to remind him of that. You do. You are lucky to be here.
be funny.
You're an immigrant to be
Gone.
brought in.
She just comes in,
Yeah.
right? Are you ready to start? And I'm like, yeah, be funny.
Yeah,
It just walks out.
There you go.
Just to let you know, be funny.
Just to remind
You're not
you.
getting paid.
Just to remind you.
Well, I'm a people pleaser.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
a nice person. Vicious
Yes,
bitch.
people pleaser, but you can still like
Still have
run
the
a good
crack.
ship.
Still
Yeah,
have the crack.
it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Do you did you envisage the success of when you brought Empire on the road? So you took it to Cookstown, which we did. So you decided for the 30 years you were going to bring it across the north and
Yeah,
put it in
just-
different theatres and stuff like that. Again, another thing that you wanted to do right. And I did the Cookstown gig. Brilliant.
Yeah,
Brilliant fun.
it did go
Obviously
really,
stressful
really well.
for you because you don't know how it's going to work and stuff.
Yeah, we're doing
Can
it was in a nightclub, so-
can we get an exclusive today on Cork the North?
You trying to break some news?
Breaking some news.
All right.
Would you consider opening the Empire Laughs back in other areas of the north? Or do you just think keep it in Belfast and then do a little tour every year or two for 3 or 4 nights?
I honestly don't know. I've always wanted to take it on the road, so I'm so glad that this year it's happened. Like even before the pandemic, I just thought this would be such a great thing to do, is to kind of bring the lineups that we have across. There are comedy clubs everywhere now, I guess. So is it really necessary? I do feel like we brought a different kind of thing when we did Cookstown. We did Time, we went to Sandino's, and we went to Blake's of the Hollow. I keep forgetting when this is going out.
Have you done those other gigs already?
I don't know, because I don't know when you're putting this out.
It's going out next week. Okay. So you've done those gigs already?
I've done Blake's of the Hollow.
How was that one? How was
Really
that?
good.
Did it go really well?
Someone died at it.
Someone died.
Yeah.
Oh, really? That
There was-
go really well.
there was
didn't
two
it?
fights.
Oh,
Yeah.
stop it.
There was a cat in the audience.
I will go really well. Yes, no, they've all been a joy to work with. I love working with other venues as well. So no, we'll
Maybe
have to
once
see.
a year you might do a one-off special once a year. Or
You know,
something.
it's kind of, we're an international comedy club, so we don't just book local acts. We've got it is.
We're going to Bangladesh next week. The Empire in Kyrgyzstan.
Comedy in Buenos Aires.
Yeah.
Bringing you live
Sorry,
comedy.
I meant we have international acts. I'm not gonna just go to all different parts of the empire.
Right? We do.
Do you know she only flies comedians into Belfast International Airport because she wants to keep the international brand going?
Actually, is that a truth?
Bullshit.
No, it's not.
Honestly, the way you pitch it,
I don't want to pay for the
no.
bus, so
Yeah.
no.
Give the money for the bus. Give the money for the
I would
bus.
obviously rather fly them in
Do
the
you give them
city.
the money for the bus?
Yes, I'm not gonna.
Never give me the money for the bus.
Ah,
when I
but
do
your
it.
fees too
earn
big.
it. You didn't earn it. You had to be brought down a peg or two, though. We'll fly you over, but you get your own bus. I'm paranoid at the minute because I've just remembered I have no product in my hair right now, and the reason why
You're getting a haircut.
I'm getting a haircut.
I
straight
think you
after
look
this
good.
podcast. Thank you, Jade. That's what I need in my
You
life.
look a lot
I look
younger.
great, mate.
I was
I
looking
wouldn't
at you
even notice.
I was wondering why you
As
look so
paranoid.
good today.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the
I look
issue.
shit, as always.
Maybe
but-
I need. I've also been drinking loads of water. I've not had a
From a can?
I've not had a fizz. Jade, I only do
Drinks
water.
water,
from
drinks
cans.
water. We've done this on the pod. He only drinks water.
Sorry, I
from a
don't
can.
listen. Why?
No, you're right to not listen because I don't even know.
I don't know who listens.
I know me neither. Mad people. Who's
Fuck
it? Please subscribe to the Patreon. Here's the thing.
Tell me the water
Kinda keep
can
the
story.
So the water can stories, I have a subscription sent to my house every month that sends me 24 tins
water?
of wind. Yeah, I'm doing well in life. I've got these recycle forever. So that's why, but also here's what it does, right? Because I was big into like Coke Zeros and, you know, I like when you were saying Red Bull earlier, I was
Yeah.
like, fuck, I'd murder a Red Bull. To get me to drink less fizzy drinks, I get them in water in tins because this replicates. what
And
a
is it
drink would
fizzy?
be. No, it's still. But for some reason,
Could
it's
you not just
colder.
keep refilling that?
It's not
Tap
resealable.
water, like.
Never say
But even if you're just at home,
Aye.
you
just
won't go out
grab one from the fridge, baby.
That's fucking weird.
Grab one from the fridge.
You live on your own, don't you?
Most eligible
We both-
bachelor
we
in
both-
West Belfast, shit, with his tins of
Most
water.
eligible, well, not really, but like most Southern Irish guy in the East.
Wow. I
was
mean, what a
wondering-
label that is. The most Southern Irish guy in the East. You should get t-shirts made of that for your
I am
gigs.
the most Southern Irish guy in the.
I'm down for someone to come out.
I'm in North Down actually. I thought I was in East.
I was
Belfast.
kind of
I'm actually in
wondering where
North
you
Down.
were. Sometimes you're Hollywood,
Is
sometimes
the-
it's East. It depends on who.
Apex and
Yeah.
Jesus.
Listen,
Whoever
where I'm
the
an
audience
enigma, I
is.
am everywhere.
And then Negua.
Is there anybody from Kerry living in East Belfast or North Down?
Reach
And if
out.
not, I am the most southern person living in.
There's
Okay.
bound to be someone from Kerry.
There's
living
bound
there.
to be somebody
Yeah.
from Kerry.
fine,
Jade, I have a question for you, and
Oh
I've
gosh,
actually,
here we
it's
go
actually, I had a question for you, and it's actually got out of my fucking head.
It's all
I wanted
good.
to ask you on the podcast. Hold on a second now. It's coming back to me now. It's coming back to me now.
I like that jacket, Jade, by the way.
Thank
It's
you.
good.
It's nice.
You always
The
compliment
question-
me.
Oh yeah.
You have great fashion. Jade
So-
has great fashion sense.
I got a.
Apart from that one time.
Oh, the one time she wore a coat that made her look like Jordan Robinson from the back.
Oh, so what did you think it was Jordan Robinson?
And then you wonder why I haven't booked you since.
I know. Yeah.
So you're going around just insulting comedy
Here's what
promoters.
happened. I was doing the Empire, and Jordan
Was
Robinson.
this the second time you did it?
The second
last time he's done it.
The second and final time I'll ever do the Empire. Basically, Jade was wearing this big long black puffer jacket, and then Jordan Robinson also was there that night, and he was wearing a big thick black jacket. And from
Well,
the back,
he wasn't there.
he was there.
Was he? Okay.
Yeah.
That
That's
makes
why
it
I thought.
less.
Yeah, that makes it less offensive.
Yeah.
So I was just out
It was-
watching that, and I keep in mind I do wear glasses, even though I don't wear them most of the time. I should be wearing them because I'm very blind. And in front of me was just this big black puffy jacket, and I thought, oh. I thought, oh, geez, just stand. in
He
front
came
of
up and
me.
put his
That's
arms
what I
around
thought.
me. It was a bit weird. And then realised it was me and not Jordan.
Yeah. And then so.
Like squeezed me.
yeah. Slap Jordan's bum. All right, Jordan, what are you doing here?
I honestly feel more.
I hear you're a bit of a
offended for
people
Jordan than
pleaser.
they.
Jordan's cruising around there.
yeah. And then, so I go to say something to what I thought was Jade, and then I was like, here, and I was like, it was Jordan. I went, oh, back.
No, it was the other way around. You went to say something to me. You thought
Was it
I was
you?
Jordan.
I thought you were Jordan.
Yes.
That's what it was.
So
then.
you said something
You
to me
touch her,
thinking you
though.
were Jordan.
Yeah.
And
touch
then
her?
also,
No,
that was a joke. But also, instead of just
Not
going,
that time. Not for the record.
instead of just leaving it there and maybe
I
just not
told her.
telling him, he was like, "Oh, I thought you were Jordan."
Do you know what was
I was
I?
like,
I had truthful
why?
Tourette's. I
Yeah.
had to tell you. There's the police coming for me. I had to tell you that that's what was going through my head because I felt like you could read my mind at that moment when you made eye contact with me. And I was like, she knows. I was like, Jade, I'm sorry.
I definitely didn't know, and I could have just done without
I know
knowing.
I could, but look now you know. But here's the thing, at least you know this from me. I'm an honest man. I'm an honest man who'll not lie to you. Jade. I'll tell you how it is.
Tell you how it is. Tell you how it is from West Belfast.
And that's the crime.
And ever since, you keep complimenting my style.
I do.
I
Yeah.
really like that jacket,
respect
Jade.
you.
I really like
You know
that
what it is?
jumper.
You're overcompensating now.
I absolutely am, yeah. I'm overdoing it.
You're actually trying too
I'm
hard.
overcooking
Aaron.
it, so I am. I know that.
I like it. Just keep it up.
I will. I'll keep doing
If
it.
there's an issue to be had out with it, he'll address it on the podcast.
Oh, look,
You're
you know,
address it on the podcast.
I'm a guy that deals
what
with
happened
issues.
last week.
Yeah.
You know, you heard about that?
Yeah, you told me.
Oh yeah, I told you. Cut that out. I'm not getting
Andrew
involved.
phones me after.
Shut
everything.
up! Shut up! Shut up, woman.
I'm your like dear diary.
What do you
Do I
mean
need to
by
know
dear
this?
Did you hear the scandal? Did you hear the news?
Yeah, but it's not just news and
I
scandal.
love
It's
gossip,
what-
right?
it's
But I
what-
don't
oh,
like
yeah.
spreading gossip.
I'm the
but I
most
love being
boring
told it.
man. Oh, my
What?
wee life. I don't do anything. But Christ,
Aye.
if anyone else does it, I need to know about it.
I don't do anything.
Yeah, so you just
Anyway.
live off everybody else's.
So recently, I got a phone call the other day, right?
Okay.
Do you remember when Biden was here a while back, right?
My dad was supposed to work security for that, by the way.
What happened? Did he do a background check and realise you couldn't go near him?
The check his Twitter account and went, probably best not to get him involved. Joe Campbell from the Rock Bar was drafted in to do security for Joe Biden. Like, isn't that mad?
Are you serious?
But he arrived today, which today is last week. He arrived and they goes to him, but don't worry, we don't need you. But he still got paid anyway.
Who paid America or Ireland? Or
Someone
government?
paid him. I don't know who. The Ra. I don't know who, but someone paid him.
Scaramici died, didn't he, recently? Scacciamici, wasn't he? What's his name?
No. Now, are you laughing? Do you know what he's saying here?
I do, yes. What
But-
do you
but
think
you-
I
but-
like live
no,
under
no,
a
no.
rock?
But do you know the way he's
They're
pronouncing it?
giving
It's absolutely not the way it's said.
Or
Yes, but I know
give
it.
him another couple of attempts to see.
Okay.
Go ahead. Who
No, I
died?
saw on the news last week that there was a guy, he was an informant who was in the IRA back in the 70s and 80s, and he was working on behalf of the British government, and they found out that he was a rat, and he was an Italian, Irish, Scaramucci or
Sounds like he's about to sing that.
Skinacci, is it? What was his name? He's like a Northern Irish.
Do you know the name?
Scamacci.
Just that, let's try and get both of you.
Giovanni. No.
Was he not called Steak Knife?
Donadoni.
That was his code name.
That's all I
Steak
knew him
Knife
from.
guy. All right, so but
Steak Knife
what
was
was
the
is he? It's Scanacci.
The correct pronunciation was Freddie Scapatici.
Oh, Scapatici.
Sounds nice.
Nothing like Schermozy or Scaminozy or Sashquanchke.
They sound like Italian
saying.
pizzas. Like.
They sounded delicious, to be fair, when you were saying it. I was getting hungry. But yeah, he has passed away.
Is that what you wanted to
Is
ask
that,
me?
is that,
No,
did he do the
no,
club?
just-
Yes, he
no,
did 5 minutes.
No, when you were
An open
saying
spot.
that, like your dad was getting booked and he got paid by the rat, I just
Oh, that's what you made the association with. No, my dad.
You thought
My
there was a
dad.
bit
Scapatici
of
thing.
banter to be
What is it
had?
again? What is it again?
Scapatici.
Scapatici thing came into me. Anyway, listen. So a couple of weeks ago, I got a message from
Scapatici.
No.
Andrew, need you back on the case.
Need you back on
The
the
boys
case,
are
right.
reunited.
I got a message, right?
You're a toad.
Tights out, goats out.
I got a message, right? And it said, Andrew.
Meet me in the park. for
No,
gay love.
no.
Sorry.
It was Andrew. As you know, President Biden is coming to Belfast tomorrow, and we're looking for somebody. We're doing a feature for Ireland AM in Belfast, and it's going to be live, and we want to talk about life in Belfast, and we have a lot of people there talking about the Good Friday Agreement and people who are affected by the Troubles and all this kind of stuff, and we want to lighten it up a little bit. Tommy Bowe's the presenter on Ireland AM, who's a friend of Jade's, and I've always been trying to get like Tommy to come onto the podcast, right? But I don't know the guy, and I don't want to just be like approaching him, you know, like, and I was kind of maybe said to maybe Jade, you could say something like,
Just maybe said to me like every week, Jade, go and ask Tommy, Jade, have you asked Tommy?
right? Anyway, like,
Just maybe.
I'm like Scaramacci,
I'm like,
whatever
oh,
you
yeah,
say,
that's
like just getting shit done. So I say I agreed to go on. So me and Diona went on it yesterday, right?
I agreed to go on as if it was a hard ask.
I was fucking delighted to be asked, to be honest.
I agreed.
Oh, let me check my schedule. Oh, look, I am free for the rest of my life.
Yep. Okay, so you.
Can I just say, for the first time, I really enjoyed this podcast. This is
The first time.
Oh, what? So the last year has been nothing.
I
It
can't
took Jade to come on.
I cannot
and
get my
said,
words right.
I
here.
knew that was going to be the case, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway. So you get asked to do this show
Do this Ireland
and
AM
you
thing,
talk
right?
about.
So they
President
said to me like, "Oh, do you want to come in?" And so we did a briefing call, and I was like, "Oh, great!" So we go in anyway, and so Joe Brawley was there, but I missed him. Brian Kennedy, the singer.
Yeah.
What a lovely man.
Yeah.
Oh my God, like an absolute sweetheart, a gentleman.
Did you do a bit of singing?
He was being interviewed. There was a guy there as well. I didn't get to shake because you're kind of like being rushed around, you know, to get your piece done. Yeah. So ours was pre-recorded, but it went out as if it was live.
I get you.
So me and Diona and Tommy was doing the interview, and it was great. It was really good. And then at the end of it, Tommy Buck came around to me. He said to me, "No, Andrew." He said to me, "If you know Andrew, you've got a podcast called Cork with an R." And I was like, "Great."
He did not say that.
He did in the interview.
Really?
And then,
you told him
after
to?
the interview, I said, "Oh, Tommy, you'll come on." He goes, "Well, I haven't been invited yet." And I go, "No, I'd love to have you on. I'd love to have you on." He goes, "Yeah." He said, "Oh, a couple of friend of mine mentioned it to me about it. He listens to it and all this." I was like, "Oh my God, this is great." So I said to him, like, "Will you come on?" And then he was like, "Yeah, well, message me and all that kind of stuff." And then he said, and then he was being rushed off because he had to do another interview. I said, "Look, I'll get on to Jade. I'll get your number off Jade." And he was like, yeah. So
I do not believe you.
So
this
can
is
I
why
have his
I'm
number?
not giving you Tommy Bo's number.
Why
Do you think he's making up wee fibs?
No, I just don't give out anyone's number. Sorry.
That's a good policy, to be fair.
If someone asked me for your, well, to be fair, you'd probably be like, yeah, give my number to
He wants
anybody,
his number
but
to be
no,
seen.
I'm
So your
not.
phone is there, Jade?
My
Can
phone
I have
is-
Tommy's number?
No.
I'm in the middle of this and I love it.
But Tommy said to give me his number.
Because everyone says things in the moment. They're like, yeah, speak
that's
to my
true.
agent. And then the agent has to go, fuck off.
Right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to DM Tommy Bowe.
Yes, that's a much better.
That's a much better way to do it.
idea.
Okay, so
leave me out of it.
Do you know what it is? I love rugby.
Yes.
Which is why I'm not giving you his number.
Andrew, 2 in the
I'm
morning
pretty
on
sure
Saturday.
we're only friends.
You up,
so that
Tommy?
you can-
Hey Tommy, you know when you
Yep.
knocked the ball on
Yeah.
against Munster in 2008? I always want to talk to you about that.
I just wouldn't wish you having anyone's number on anyone.
What are you on about?
In case you phone them as much as you
Right,
phone me.
that's Tommy McCarthy.
It's definitely very different from Tommy Bowe.
Tommy Bowe. Oh, he follows me.
There you go. I think you should just
Here we
say
go.
Exactly, but then you'll be able to DM
Hey,
and that's the exact same send message
do I
anyway.
do hey Tommy, hey pal?
do aubergine emoji.
What do I say? Let's
it
go,
right
hey
top?
Tommy. Good to see you yesterday.
Yeah, winky face.
Yesterday?
Good to see you.
10 days ago.
10 days ago.
Yeah.
Good
Love heart.
to see you recently. Love to get you on the pod. Jade is refusing to hand over your number
Yep, say that.
because she's like, no, he's my man.
Yeah. Freedom of Information
Love
Act, Jade
to
is...
get you on the podcast.
Winky face.
Winky face.
Sometime.
And then send a picture of me.
If you're
Send a
up for it.
picture.
A good one.
If you're up for it.
Sorry, I keep touching your
This is
leg.
Aaron.
It's fine. We're touching legs today, and it's fine. We're getting
Yeah.
close.
Like, I
Send him a
know.
photo of Aaron. Say, this is Aaron. You'll be released if you agree to come on the pod.
This is my Make-A-Wish kid. Please come onto the podcast and appease him. I feel like I'm blending into this wall with my jumper.
Yeah.
Like I'm
I
camouflaged.
told you that.
We're both
I told
in
you
green
that
today.
you were
I know.
green.
I know.
No, he's active
Is
39
it
minutes
just
ago,
be
so he's
full-
vibrant. He's vibrant. He's around.
time
his
is that?
phone. He's
So you'll-
Active
his
30
show
minutes
will
ago?
his
So
show
here
will
we go. So hey Tommy, good to see you recently. Love to get you on the podcast sometime. If you're for it, we can record at a time that suits you. Someday during what do I do? Someday during the week. Someday during.
I feel like I'm listening to a guy have a
I
mental
know.
breakdown here. Yeah.
I actually stoned out there. Are we
Yeah.
still recording?
Yes, we are. Tommy Bo has one of the best TV moments in history. Do you remember it?
Oh,
Sent.
the however many kids
No, they
thing.
didn't send it.
Like 17 children.
Like-
It's like died today. It's like, oh. That is the best TV moment
the
ever.
lady, Kaylee Trapp does the voice.
Oh,
lip
the
sync.
slim sinks
Lip
over.
sync.
Oh, did she do that?
She
of that?
did one on Tommy Ball as well.
It was very
So,
funny.
we're close, guys. We're close.
Who's
Yeah,
the,
everyone.
Again,
Tommy Bow's
Bow
close to coming on the podcast.
You're going to hear it first. I'm just a I get really nervous around rugby players because
you?
I love them. Because I just love
So who
rugby.
are you going to have on with them? Just you two?
We're going to shoot the breeze.
Shoot the breeze.
We're going to shoot the breeze. We're going to come on. We're going. Do you know what I like to? I just want to shoot the breeze. One of the best players to ever play for Ireland, and he's played for the British and Irish Lions. So he's fucking phenomenal. He's an absolute beast of a man. Like he's everything I wish I could be.
Yeah. Handsome,
Oh,
tall,
he's
well
gorgeous,
built,
like, he's just
charismatic.
charismatic. Got a vibe,
funny.
got an energy.
Really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Down to earth guy.
Down to earth guy, Jed.
Yeah.
I love that. I just think we would get
Everything
on.
you're not.
We would
Everything.
we would get on.
You did already have one of the best Irish players on your podcast, though.
Who is one of the best?
Oh
Irish-
yeah, one of the best. Yeah.
He definitely wasn't.
Chris Henry, which is her husband, he did play for Ireland, and he retired after the World Cup in 2015.
He didn't. He retired in 2018.
2008, he retired. Well, to be honest with you, he was missing for 3 years.
He may as well retire.
May as well
Them
retire.
3
He was
years
still
were
getting
shot.
Time he got out of a chair, he injured his back.
I don't watch rugby. I
So
know
Chris is
nothing about
married.
it.
Jade is married to Chris Henry. He's a fucking fantastic gentleman and a great stepdad. Great dad to the two kids. That we don't know if it's a stepdad issue.
Jealousy is a wild thing.
Well, I am jealous because I just love rugby players, and I'm just a massive rugby fan. But listen, Jade, thanks so much for coming into Cork and in our podcast.
And putting up with us.
It's been a pleasure. I'm so glad it's been your favourite podcast.
Can I ask you a question?
I'm not coming back.
No.
Can I do the Empire again, please? Am
Is
I
that you
forgiven?
asking me?
Am I forgiven? Andrew, will you ask Jade for me? No, the way you want her to ask Tommy Bo for you.
No,
You
no,
ask-
fuck that. No.
you ask Jade for
have
me.
to. You find her. You get onto her.
You
Get her-
find her.
I don't know how to get
I'm
in
right
touch with her.
here.
Can you give me her number?
All right,
'Cause
do you know what, can I
don't
ask you again? Who is the most famous person's phone number you have in your phone?
know.
I don't know.
Who do you think is the most famous person's phone number you have? I can tell you who I have.
Here's the thing: it would be weird for you to say it because you might offend a comedian or something. Because if it's like
Who
a
is the
big
most
comedian,
famous person's
Yeah.
phone number you have? Kevin Bridges?
Yeah, I have his number.
Michael
But-
McIntyre?
No.
Right, so you've got Kevin
think
Bridges'
he's-
number.
Paddy
Right.
Keatley. You got Keatley?
I don't know if it's up to date.
Okay.
I don't really text these people. Like,
I know,
I'm not
yeah.
really big on my phone.
Who is-
Start now. Let's prank. Let's do a segment on the podcast where we prank call comedians from your
Jay
phone.
phone.
That
Paddy
would be
Keatley
great.
very kindly had me out stay with them in LA for a couple of weeks
That's
years
cool.
ago. Yeah,
That's
he used
cool.
to live with us when we were younger because he obviously set the club up with my dad.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
They were like very good friends. So
Well, when he used to come up for the gig and stay over, is it?
No, he used to live here.
When he used to live here and he used to do the TV show here. What was
Yeah.
it, PK Tonight or
yeah,
something
so
like
my
that?
dad was the
every-
producer. The two of them set up the Empire together, and then they started doing that TV show, and then Paddy took off.
He
Became-
worked at Green Ink for a bit as well. He
Green
used
Ink
to
was
do
set
some-
up
So you
with
and your
Stephen
dad-
Stewart, my dad,
Stephen
and Pat.
So you have a
Paddy.
great relationship with Paddy. You know, he's tipped for the Late Late Show.
I
Is
seen
he?
a
And I really
article
think
about
I
that.
personally,
I think it'd be great.
That's actually a
I
good
think
choice.
it's a great, because number one, he's politically aware.
Yeah.
Number two, he's very likable, and he's
Yeah.
also quite like up to date with Southern Irish issues, obviously Northern Irish issues, and also he's lived across the world, and he's very funny.
Yeah, he's
That
very
is-
smart.
That is a good choice. I didn't even think about that.
Fire
I
away.
was going to put you forward, Andrew. Not
What are you
now.
laughing at?
You alright?
You were going to say, and he's very funny, but then you stop saying funny, and he's very likeable.
I know. I actually think he's perfect for the job.
Funny should be top of the list.
He is.
I think Patrick Kilty would be a great host for the Late Show down south.
Yeah.
When are they deciding?
Soon.
Or has it
to be
been
soon.
decided
No,
and we
it'll be
just don't
decided
know?
over the summer. I'd say that there's a couple of people now. Like they say Claire Byrne. I don't know. Is she a bit too political in terms of like?
It'd be nice to have a woman do it too. Though.
Yeah. Listen, I don't care who gets it. Just wants the right
Best person for the job.
For the
As long as it's not a woman.
I don't care.
I'm only joking.
I can't remember her name now.
Are you not in the mix for the job?
He's
now?
not a
The
woman.
Late Late Show tonight on the Late Late Show. We need to keep the lights on.
I know. Plugging his
Would
gigs
you
at the
bring
start
us
of the
with
show.
you? Can we come?
It's like, yeah,
We'll be
yeah.
like the house band.
Did you enjoy warm up? Did you enjoy Aaron Butler? The warm up. Aaron Butler's up there going up the Republic.
I brought my little buddy here.
I brought my little friend here to do warm up.
His little Make-A-Wish Foundation.
My little
Did you
kid.
ever explain that on the podcast?
We did. I think we talked about it before. We had a good laugh at it.
I'll go back and listen.
So, who's the most famous person you have? The most famous person you have is you think Kevin Bridges.
No, I don't. Well, I don't know. I don't.
Who's your most famous person you have in your phone?
Probably you.
Me?
Probably
Me?
No, yeah, Jade's a famous one.
Jade's hot.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I have no idea. I remember one time working on a panel show, Ask Rod Gilbert, and Lloyd Langford was in.
Oh, Lloyd's
backstage.
great.
Yeah, lovely guy, by the way.
Gentleman.
Was the nicest guy ever. And I remember he was like, he was on an old phone at the time, like one of those old Nokias that like when you had to go to your contacts list, you had to scroll down. He was on his, and I was just over his shoulder looking at the contacts list, and it was just like Peter Kay, like
Wow.
everyone, McIntyre, like, and I was just going, that phone has
So much.
Did I ever tell you the
much.
story about my dad and Peter Kay's phone number? So my dad's like, it's not even like a phone. He's like looking through his phone book like a few years ago and comes across like Peter Kay and did like the ultimate 14-year-old girl thing. He was like, I wonder if this still works. So he like types it in, but didn't like make it withheld or whatever, phones it. Peter answers and my dad goes, "Ooh," and hangs up. And then my dad, being my dad, like couldn't be any more than 2 minutes past the phone rings. My dad's like, hello. It's Peter, obviously. Hello, who's this? My dad's like, who's this? Like totally forgot. And he's like, this is Peter. And then my dad was like, and just had to basically explain. He's like, it's
the
Jackie
situation.
here. I just wasn't sure if the number.
Did they have a chat?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Because he would have worked with my dad back in the day, but it was just
Yeah.
so funny how he was like,
Do you remember
on the,
Peter Kay at all? Was he too far back for you?
it probably would have been too back. My dad did
Yeah.
a big comedy festival called Gagging for Bath, which is down in the now Cathedral Quarter. So it was like his offices were the black boxes, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically pre Cathedral Quarter, pre that being anything, he had put a big marquee up and had the likes of like Peter Kay and Dara Breen and stuff in it in a comedy festival. So yeah, I don't know what year that would have been, but I would have been in charge.
You would do.
I would aspire to do that. Yeah, that would be on my.
I think you'd be
5-year plan.
fantastic, and I think you do a great job.
I'd love to put together a big festival like that. Yeah,
like get like the waterfront and do shows at like.
Well, my background, obviously, having worked with my dad for a very long time, is also working for the Glasgow International Comedy Festival, and I just enjoyed it so much. And it was a full-time job. You know, it was all year round. You see 3 weeks of it, but we're in the office like the whole time leading into that. Loved the team, loved everything about it, loved all the people I got to work with, and it was just obviously very stressful, and it takes a very, very good skill set. The girl who I was working for at the time, Sarah Watson, is unbelievable at her job, and yeah, just loved it. So I think I've always kind of deep down thought that'd be so cool to do something like that here.
Well, we look forward to doing it, and I look forward to hosting.
Only reason we're friends with
Looking
me.
for the next job as soon as he can get it.
Yeah.
Always
Anyway.
the salesman.
I also think that I have Catherine Ryan's number on my phone only because every time I'm on TikTok, you know, it kind of comes up as recommended by your contacts. And I'm like,
Yes.
her number must be in there somewhere. I keep seeing like, Kath Bum,
That's
in your
fun.
contacts. I'm like, where? I've saved it as something.
Yeah.
But I did her show in Glasgow, so that's the
She's
only reason.
lovely,
So she's got the same
From
number
Cork.
from 20 years ago.
Her family originated from Cork, Catherine Wright. The most famous person I have, John Bishop,
Yeah.
Joe
That's a good
Lysa. Used to live with Joe.
I wonder if I've got
Lived with
John's.
Joe at the who else have I got? Tom Allen.
Tom Allen,
All
yeah.
comedy. I've got
Yeah,
Dean
but they're, I
Kiley,
feel like
former
I've
Irish
got John's
goalkeeper.
too, but they're all friends to a certain extent. So it's hard to see someone as like,
Yeah, I don't see them as They're just comics.
They're just people, man.
Just
They're
people,
just-
man. They're
just
just
people.
fucking people.
Just people, man.
I think that's just something about us being from here, though. We really don't have that. Like Beyonce could walk past and I'd still just be like,
Oh no, if Beyonce walks past, I'm all over it. I am.
would you though? Do you think
Oh.
you would actually say anything? I don't think I could.
No, I'd
think
be
I'd
in
be like-
too much shock. Also, you'd not get near her because the amount of security around her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'd get my fuck knocked in by the security too. Like, I'd do something stupid.
Yeah, but I'm no threat. I've had a vasectomy.
I would say something like that.
No threat of
My
vasectomy.
brother-in-law is like hell for it. You know, like just anybody he spots.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, really?
Just be, and I'd be scunned.
See, there's just something in me. I can't bring myself to give anyone the
one
attention.
time he sent the photo into like a family group chat and he was like and it was a photo of him and Joanna Lumley at the airport and then something that he had got her to say and I was just going like, now why are you fucking bothering Joanna Lumley
Yeah.
At least he got a picture with her, though. There was a photo sent into my family WhatsApp the other day because someone had like weirdly taken a picture of Paddy Raff in a
That's
restaurant.
weirder. That's weirder.
But the weird thing was he was out for dinner with my dad. So like someone sent this picture to my sister-in-law and was like, look who's here. And she was like, Jackie.
yeah.
This is a picture of my dad.
I was out recently and you got a text message.
Yeah, you were spotted.
Oh, that happens. Yeah.
Jay get a text message saying, I just spotted Andrew Ryan in the Heart Bar with
what-
a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say there was a bit more to it.
It
It
was
wasn't
actually a
just I've
fella.
seen Andrew Ryan. It was like Andrew's holding hands with somebody.
But why? Like, it's funny how people jump on that and they're
I
like,
know.
I honest to God, as I said, I'm very boring.
Yeah.
Just no. But one thing I was going to say is, fucking what's wrong with me today? But I'm forgetting.
It's okay.
certain
We need to
things.
get you checked.
I need to get me checked.
I
man.
don't know what for, but
Just
we need to get you
But
checked.
anyway, yeah, get spotted. I potentially could be working with Roy Keane in November.
Oh, yes, you're
I
telling me
got an
this.
inquiry about maybe doing hosting a Q&A with Roy Keane at a private event in Manchester.
That's exciting.
Now, I don't know if this is going to go ahead or not, but they've
Probably won't.
contacted me and said, look, we're working.
Let's be honest.
What?
The dream shatterer here, she just went, probably won't.
Anyway.
I love that.
But I'm already nervous about meeting Roy Keane, and I'm already saying to myself, he hates photos. So,
You
but
can't.
he is the only one that I would do anything. But then I'm thinking to myself, he might do one for me, but I'm not going to ask him because I don't want to be that guy.
You can't.
Yeah.
You can't.
You know?
You can't.
And
I think
he's
it's.
only-
I think if you have a conversation and you're kind of having a bit more, like I remember being with Dara Breen one night in the Empire, and it was just like, "Can I get a photo? Can I get a photo?" It was like
Yeah.
selfies, and he was like, "Not one person's just like said like,
How
how
are
are
you?"
you?" He was like, "That's just annoying. Like, have a chat with me, you know,
Yeah.
like that's." And then maybe get it, but it's just this whole like, "Boop, I'm away again. Boop, I'm away
Yeah.
again." It just gets a bit.
Shit, innit?
Yeah.
Anyway, listen, we move on. Listen, Cork and the North members, patrons, people, listeners, whoever you are, thank you so much for joining us this week. If you are in Belfast, you want to go to comedy, please do go to the Empire Comedy Club every Tuesday. We've got a big summer season of comedy at the Empire. Always good to come down to comedy when it's bright and leave when it's bright as well. You can have a bit of a laugh as well, and the weather will be better, and there's loads of beer garden, you can drink and stuff like that. So thank you so much.
Sound good,
Please
Anne?
sign up to the Patreon, £3 a month, come to the live show, follow us on Instagram at Andrew Ryan Comedy. Aaron, how many tickets are left for your show in May?
19,
19.
and those will be gone in a heartbeat. I don't know if there's even any left by the time this goes out.
Okay.
Good luck.
Good
like
luck.
Gold dust.
Like Jade, what's the Empire Laughs Back ticket website?
EmpireLaughsBack.com.
EmpireLaughsBack.com to buy tickets on a Tuesday night for the comedy at the Empire Comedy Club. Thank you so much to everybody. Bye.